In this lonely ass world, it's getting colder. I'm not going nowhere if I cannot take my boat there. My mind was bred a little different, yeah, from my own past. If I see heat, why the fuck would I wanna go there? Mama, I make you smile. Mama, your little nigga came from wildin'. Mama, always got in trouble, I was shouted. Mama, now I'm staring at shit. Mama, I'm the pilot. Mama, if I want something, I'ma go get it. Mama, swim with the sharks, piranhas, and fishes. Mama, it's so hard down here, God is my witness. Mama, I know where I'm going. Mama, I'm a fan. It's hard not knowing who is really gonna be there for me. I wish you could be here to see me the day I start touring. Shit be on my mind every second when I'm not recording. I'm waking up conversating with the Lord every morning. I mistakenly took the wrong path, I had to rewind. I fumbled trying to move too fast, I had to keep trying. Growing up, I got in trouble, told myself to keep lying. So much stress be building up, swear I be needing me time.
Good morning to the DMV and the rest of the world. This is your girl, Reese, aka the best that ever did it. And this is another episode of Freaky Friday. This is our 31st episode of Freaky Friday going into podcasting. So this is the 31st episode of this podcast for Freaky Friday. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is fantastic. May 19th, I got a panel of esteemed guests. I love my panel when they come through and show up for Freaky Friday. I believe there's a lot of freaks out here in this world. Today on Freaky Friday, we're going to talk about the difference in the dating culture for the men between Gen X and Gen Y and Z. They're the same gen. I just found that out. But people are people, and we're going to get into it. First up on the panel, I'd like to say thank you to my baby brother who is here, Molly Productions, Molly Moss. Thank you, Molly, for riding and banging with your girl. Thank you. And then next on the panel, I see Michelle Pucciarelli, my girl Friday. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, I'm here. I'm okay. I'm going to be honest right now. I'm trying to make a story on my Instagram. It's going to have me dancing, and the Rick James is Unity.
Okay, we Freaky Friday.
Too much go. I know. I'm getting prepared for Freaky Friday with my Lord and Savior, Rick James. It's Friday.
Okay. Michelle. Okay, put her to the side. Next we got the Duke of Comedy himself, Mr. Terrence Hawkins. Good morning, brother.
Good morning. Good morning. What's the deal, everybody?
Everybody, what's the deal, Pickle? Like that's what Huggy Low.
Hey, I gotta say something to Poochie. I love the way she started off. She talked about I had my Lord and Savior, Rick James. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. Rick James, though?
Yes, my church is called Unity. My church is called Unity. I go to Unity in D.C. If that's not a sign that Rick James is my Lord and new Savior, I don't know what is it. Right out there?
That was racist.
Look,
wait.
Let me introduce my next guest. I got Michelle, I got Terrence, and let me bring in the Blue Phoenix. Let me bring in my mentalist, because she had to dip out on us the last time she was here. Her time was short, so I want to make sure I get her in today. I love her. Mwah!
Hi, everybody. Yeah, my thing went out, and then I had to end up going to the class, so it was just a double whammy happening. Great day, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Now back to Michelle. Did you hear Michelle and Terrence's conversation about unity, about Rick James? Did you hear that, Phoenix?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Terrence, what are you saying to Michelle? Why he said that she could, her Lord and Savior Rick James, unity. Michelle can.
He's muted. I left him speechless.
Wait a minute.
I remember one of my idols.
We can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I remember one of my idols who is none other than the late great George Carlin.
Yeah.
You know who he prayed to? You know who he prayed to? Who he followed? Joe Pesci.
Oh, of course.
George Carlin followed Joe Pesci?
Yeah, that's who he prayed to.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have a cousin Vinny. I really do.
This must be a Staten Island thing.
It's a bit with him standing on stage. I think it's one of his last comedy shows he did before he passed away.
Mm.
Joe Pesci.
And ironically enough, my grandpa Rocky could have been the Joe Pesci for his crew.
Can I share my screen on here? Does this give me the opportunity for me to share my screen?
I believe it does at the bottom. It says present. But if you're on your
All
phone,
right, let me see.
it's gonna look different.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm not on anything. I'm on my phone.
So how's everyone doing today?
It's Freaky Friday.
I know it's Freaky Friday. I kicked it off, but you didn't like my dirty mouth so early in the morning. My father's calling me. I can't take that call.
I want you guys to think about today's topic. Is going to be because I seen a bunch of Gen Y and Zers talking about the difference in Gen X and us courting and our dating ritual. And you'll be surprised how the younger generation think. They said that the younger Gen X and Y, we're X. So Gen Y and Z are they're not as sexually active as we were as the X. X is from 65 to 80. So if you were born in 65 and 80, we are more sexual than our children coming up. I was like, what?
Isn't that some craziness? I believe that's true because my oldest daughter, I guess, is the Gen Z. And I really believe she was going to grow up being just like me.
How old is she?
She's going to be 18. But when she was 16, I put her on birth control.
But they said that they're not as sexually active as we were because
they're not.
She's a millennial.
And they said because the media, the media, the social, the internet is flooded with porn. And they said
they've been desensitized. They've been desensitized to it.
See, when we was growing up, we loved for Freaky Friday and hump and all that. They don't have to do that, man.
Freaky every weekend I was in high school. I was doing something freaky every weekend I was in high school. And it's not that my daughter has not. She is just a lot smart. She's going for quality over quantity. The nerve, the audacity of that child at that age. This is when you're supposed to be rolling free and easy and experimenting and figuring out. Well, maybe not at that age, but at some point you got to be figuring out what you like. I am not a fan that she has a boyfriend now and that she's had a boyfriend her entire senior year of high school. She's been missing out, in my opinion.
Missing out on what?
Phoenix, my opinion.
Missing out on what?
On being a carefree single girl who's figuring out how to be a woman teen. And when you settle for monogamy at a young age, because that's what her boyfriend and her have been doing for the last year, as a teen, when your only job is to go to school and live your best fucking life, go play sports, go stay out too late, go sleep at your friend's house, go outside of the scope of your mom and dad and the system that we call school and go again. I learned the most from life because, again, not saying I recommend or endorse this or I'm being sponsored to say this, but I went out and lived a life of an adult without ID as a teen. And I lived in a world where I shouldn't have been because I was putting myself in places where people were legally there to drink and I was legally there to scam drinks. Well, illegally there to scam drinks. you know. And again, I put myself in places and in situations as a young woman I probably should not have been in, but now as a experienced, seasoned woman, I know what to do. I know what to do. And again, I don't endorse my daughter sleeping around, but I endorse my daughter going out and making friends and doing the social activities and meeting other people and meeting other boys and girls and just human beings.
Michelle,
team.
Michelle,
Yeah.
Michelle, I'm gonna put a time limit on you.
You gotta put a time limit. You ride in the car with me. You know this.
I'm talking about a time limit for your talk. I want to hear from Phoenix.
So let's hear it. I want to hear from Phoenix too. I know she's got stuff to say. I love it.
Phoenix,
what do you want to hear from me? Because
I wanted to hear your response as a mother of women, 3 women as well, about Michelle saying that she thinks her daughter is missing out because she chooses to have one boyfriend. She's missing out on at a young age. What are your thoughts of that?
Okay, so I am a mom of 3 daughters. Hold on. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I am a mom of 3 daughters and 2 sons. And I also am a mom who began having sex at 16. Now, one thing's for sure, if I could go back, I would not have done that. And I don't wish my daughters start that early because you're not ready for sex as a teenager. You're barely ready in your 20s. So, you know,
say it louder, Phoenix.
I get what Michelle is saying because you're not ready for sex as a teenager. You're not ready for sex, period. It's more than just the physical act. It's mental, emotional, and spiritual. So I wish for my children to wait. But I get what Michelle is saying as far as her meeting friends, not just being sexually active, but being out with your friends and meeting people and having experiences. But she can still do that with a boyfriend. Her and her boyfriend can do that. But I do understand the individual side of that.
They don't. They evolved into a couple.
Oh, okay. Well, then that, you know, you just got to pull them out.
Mary, but there were so many opportunities again. And I know it's not always about sex. And it should be when they're ready. But my experience has been I've learned the much, I've grown the most when I've been uncomfortable and did things before I thought I was ready. So the reality that I'm dealing with now, raising daughters, you know, like yourself, is that they walk a very fine line now, these kids these days, because they are being exposed to everything and they are now desensitized to sex. And they see it for what it is. And that's not a bad thing, in my opinion. However, the one thing that we haven't seen is they haven't gone out just to be. Like, again, for my daughter, I'm speaking as a mom, not as a woman who has a son. I'm speaking as a woman who has daughters. And I don't think their dream to achieve when they're in high school is to have one boyfriend.
I tell you what,
their independence in their brain and their mind and their souls.
Yeah, and I agree. But let me tell you, the fact that because I was her, I didn't have boyfriends. All my male friends, the dudes, and there was a lot of boys that liked me, but I was not. I was the tomboy. I was the girl who had all the male friends because I grew up with my big cousins and my uncle. You know, so I'm like, whatever, boy, get out my face. And so when I did meet their father, who is the one my children's father, I was 16 and I met him and we were, you know, I was doing his hair. I wasn't thinking about being no boyfriend. So he watched me with his stalking ass and figured out how to get my attention. And he was the only boyfriend I had at that time. You know, I didn't have any other boyfriends. I had boys I liked. I had boys that liked me. But him and we were boyfriend and girlfriend for a long time. Then we ended up breaking up. Then we ended up getting back together and getting married. And so that's how it was. Now, we're no longer married.
So I'm about to say, that's a love story.
Well, it was. But it was also a lot of heartbreak, a lot of frustrations, a lot of things that honestly, we should have waited to get married because it was signs beforehand. You know, it was just signs that we shouldn't have gotten married. We got married at 20 and 21. But we had a son too. So we had a child at 18. We broke up for a year, got back together, and then got married. And so, if people could do that, I commend them. It is really hard work, especially when you have not too much examples of how to properly go through your process. We had support on my side. Yeah, we had support on my side. We had some support on his side, but it was a lot going on, and there was a lot of things happening should have been corrected and was not corrected. So,
so watch this. So watch this. I help counsel. I help do wedding counsel with my daughter and her husband. Right. So my son-in-law comes from a side of nobody on his side was married. You know what I mean? Nobody. But everybody on my daughter's side, they all come up married. All her aunts, uncles, grandparents, everybody that she's been around, she's always seen family structured, and that's just what it's been, right? So
me too.
Just talking to him, my talks with my son-in-law was, hey bro, you got to look where she come from. So you got to know what kind of girl she is. Know that your house is always going to be taken care of. Know that she's going to do everything that a wife is supposed to do. You know what I mean? You always going to have a hot meal. You're going to have a clean house, and your kids are going to be well taken care of and educated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and in doing that, that does not come with, and I'm glad you were there. It's important for fathers to be there to not only give direction to their, I'm glad that you were there. It's important that for fathers to be there, not only to give direction to their daughters, but to the men that's going to be in their lives, to their newfound sons. Mm-hmm. And for him coming for Slicky Hush, we getting there.
I know he's so
for us to get to that place. Like, I was raised in the church, right? And that doesn't always mean anything, but in my case, it was. I saw married couples. There are married couples in my family. My mom was not married at first when she had myself and my brother and my sister, my brother, but she got married and had 3 more children. Though their relationship had issues, I still saw a household being ran. I have aunts and uncles who are married. I have, people around me. So I've seen marriage. I've seen how it goes. I was raised up to know how a wife is supposed to be, how she's supposed to work her husband, not work her husband, but how she's supposed to work with her husband, the help meet part. I was raised how your husband's supposed to do certain things, but not everyone is raised that way. Not everyone.
Let me say this. Had he had the speech that I gave my son-in-law, do you think y'all would still be married? And I'm gonna tell you exactly what I told him.
No.
After what I told him was, I was like, not only does she come from that surrounding and that background, you have to also understand. That this is what she come from. You know what I mean? So this is how she's been taken care of. This is what you got to continue to do. If you don't give her this kind of nourishment, she's not going to give you the same kind of response. And from there, he understood. And to this day, they've been married for 7 years now.
Oh, good.
They got 2 kids. Yeah, they got 2 kids. They doing very well. They down in North Carolina.
And and that makes a difference when you move from the city. I think if that was the conversation he had, we may not have gotten married.
Well, let me break up the conversation because I want to introduce Miss Rita to the room. Miss Rita, thank you for joining us. She muted. Can we unmute Miss Rita?
Yes.
Hey guys,
good morning, Miss Rita.
What's up, Rita?
What's good?
She's new to the room, you all. Miss Rita is a seasoned comedian. She's been in the game. She's been around for a minute, so plus years. Welcome.
Season make me sound old. I'm not seasoned. I'm still marinating.
She's still marinating. Okay, she's still marinating.
Her and her strawberries are. I'm still marinating, and I bet.
What you say? Let me catch you up on the
Miss Rita.
We got Terrence and Michelle and the Blue Phoenix, Louisa in the room. The conversation that they're talking about, started off with Michelle was saying that her daughter, senior year in high school, she used to only have one dude to date. Michelle was saying that she thinks that her daughter should be out there dating more than one guy, going out enjoying her youth instead of trying to settle down with the one guy. Is that what you're saying, right, Michelle?
Yeah.
Well, that depends. To me, that depends because dating now means something totally different than it did when I was coming up. Because, see, when you were dating, your clothes stayed on. Let me just say that. Okay? So
you hear that, Michelle?
Totally
Let's say that
now.
again. There was a motorcycle.
Miss Rita said when you were dating, your clothes stayed on.
So dating is different now than it was when my old ass was out there. Because, see, sex is more acceptable now than it was back in the day. Because, for real, we were told to stay virgins until we got married. Now they celebrate 14 and 15-year-olds having babies. So, yeah.
But the study shows that there are more people that was having sex back when we was coming up than there are today because the kids are desensitized. They don't trip off of sex. Boys can easily access porn at the drop of a second, and they're not all like back in the days when Freaky Friday came along. When we was coming up, Terrence was humping people behind the building. See, Terrence running around cars.
Hey, wait, listen here with your little nasty ass. I never did Freaky Friday outside. I never did Freaky Friday outside because I was an athlete. I was always on Friday nights. I was either in the gym or on the football field.
So that's what I was doing to that.
Me and my friends used to play hide and go get it in the laundromat.
That's what we did.
We wasn't the Freaky Friday kind of kid. We had the keys. We had the keys to all the laundromats in the neighborhood. So all we had to do. Because we used to wait till it was cold outside. And the girls in the neighborhood, instead of them being outside, just being outside, we used to say, hey, we got the keys to the laundromat if y'all want to go.
Y'all, again, I'm 10 years older than all of y'all, so I'm not in that category.
We all had our schemes and ways to get some play back in the day.
Miss Rita, what was you doing? The blue light? Y'all doing down in the basement with the blue light and the red light? Down in
I didn't do none of that shit because my mother and them had my ass. I grew up in the church, believe it or not. And back then, my mother and them had us thinking that your hair would fall out, you wouldn't grow titties. Something strange would happen if you had sex before you got married. I was 27 when I had my first baby.
See? I'm not alone. I feel a whole lot better.
And that's like when the comics be on stage, female comics, and they get to talk about sucking dick. I miss that era. My brother wasn't having it. He didn't listen. Between my street brother and his 6 friends, I was the only girl. And my brother didn't let me eat popsicles, bananas, pickles, anything that resembled a penis.
I had to eat that in the house. I had to eat it in the house.
So I never got the practice to do all of that. You hear me? And then because sex was so taboo, the nigga was good to get some pussy. If he asked for some head, I was like, you want me to put what, where? So, yeah.
Right. The first time somebody asked me, there was this white boy named John, and he asked me for fellatio. And I said, I'll take you where you can go get some. I said, I think they got a special running. We went up to the McDonald's. I didn't know what fellatio was. I thought that was I said filet of fish, because they always, Mickey D's.
Hey, wait, listen. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. I just gotta say mine after yours. Oh.
Because I thought fellatio that was filet of fish, and I said I think they got a special on it. And we got in this truck. He had a red Ford truck. We went up to the top of the hill. I was living in Maryland Gardens at the time, off of Walters Lane. That McDonald's is right there on the Pennsylvania Avenue, right there. We went to the top of the hill, and we pulled in the line. I said, "You can get it right here." He was like, what? I can get it right here. I said, yeah, I think they got a special. You can get 2 for $3. You know, and he looked at me. He said, do you know what fellatio is? I said, I'm allergic. I kept saying, I'm allergic to it.
Well, you know, I tell
You're
people,
allergic to shrimp.
I was
I
stupid.
tell people that, look, I tell people that my GRL isn't that high. You heard me?
What'd you say? Now I was laughing too loud. What'd you say?
My GLR isn't that high. My gag reflex level.
Mm.
So in other words, I get choked sucking my thumb.
Hey, that's sad.
That's all right. They like that sound. Do what you gotta do.
Look,
Yeah.
parents, I
Nope.
was just dumb.
Nope.
I was
And
one of
then
them
you
dumb
know,
kids.
with a big dick come, I like to walk regular. Okay, so I'm on a little dick team. Fuck what you heard.
Slicky, is that freaky enough for you?
Yeah, I can't do
It's
it.
freaky enough for you.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Cause see, I already walk funny here. And then I don't want all my insides shift around to the spaces. I want my uterus and all that shit to stay where it's supposed to.
Not shifting around.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Women be wondering why they be having female problems. That's why. Nigga get up in there, especially if he too big and get to shifting your shit around.
Look, ain't nothing shifting my shit around but a baby. I ain't never had no man that was bigger than the baby.
Yeah, unfortunately, I already know what my shit's
It's
too
a
real.
difference when it's coming in and going
you
out.
do.
Because see, when you have a baby, your body is prepared to open up and let that baby out. When you having sex, your shit is closed. And it ain't used to shit coming back the other way.
Yeah. I think it depends on the woman's body though too, because I was told when I had an exam, Phoenix, you're gonna love this one. When I had an exam done, I had to have a cervical biopsy done, and normally it hurts women. I didn't flinch, and then the gynecologist told me that my cervix was like the Lincoln Tunnel. So I guess that's why I've been training for this all my life, and I don't have those problems.
And you know, you always get those women that talk about men that got little dicks. No, they got average dicks. You just got a big ass pussy for fucking niggas with big dicks.
Ew, yeah.
That's like a rubber
Michelle.
band. Once you stretch it so far, it's gonna okay, like the elastic in your pants. You got an old pair of pants. Once that elastic wear out, it's not stretching. It's not going back down. It's done.
Kegels. I'm sitting
Kegels
doing my
don't
Kegels
always
right
work
now.
for everything, baby. That's like you can snap a rubber band and tie a knot in it and put it back together, but you stretch it, it's gonna pop again.
Miss Rita, did y'all hear Michelle said her cervix
You are
is like the Lincoln
mad.
Tunnel? Now you know that the vagina is like 3 inches. I'm gonna give y'all a little lesson. Your cervix is the back. Your cervix is that tunnel that links the vagina to the uterus. So if your cervix is open, that means they hit the back of the wall and went through that bitch, Michelle.
I know what this means.
Listen,
now hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute.
My
Now,
daughter is an OBGYN doctor, so yeah.
yeah. So naturally, normally our vagina, the pathway is 3 to 4 inches, but it expands
It just stretched that part.
when you're
But she said her
when you're
cervix-
yeah, I know, but listen, it expands up to 6 to 7 inches. But again, like you said, once that expansion ends, you going past the wall now. You got the and you know the thing about it, this is what I want people to understand, because we give men such a hard time when it comes to penis size. They cannot control the size of their penis. But let me tell you something.
No, we can't. Sorry.
Let me tell you something. You
Thanks
get a man,
for putting that out there.
because, right, and it's not fair because we act like men have any control. They don't give their body that. They can't help with size, just like we can't help how we come out. We just can't help that. You know, and so we have to be more considerate and have common sense. And I don't care how big a man is, you can work it, because you don't need but so much to go in there. Now,
other things,
it's more things that the reason why women want bigger penis is, one, because like you say, your eyes bigger than your stomach. It's aesthetics, right? But how much do you need to feel? You can make anything work.
I like feeling.
Anything work. And like Michelle said, she's doing her Kegels. You can do some work. You can tighten and loosen. Come on, baby. Y'all know what to do.
Yeah, because
Act
if
like
a
you know
woman
what to
can
do.
orgasm off of a finger, I mean, if you can orgasm
Exactly.
off
If you can do that off a finger,
so,
then why do you need a 20-inch penis?
I've been
With the
doing
girth of
Terrence.
6 inches. You don't need
Why
a
you be trying to
20-inch
hurt
dick
people,
and
Terrence?
6-inch girth. No. Or 8-inch girth.
That's
Because
right.
guaranteed girth is more important than length. That is more important than length. But length is it can get a certain place, but girth is more important. Let that be known. Because guarantee, I'm gonna find a way to get where I need to be.
And
You
Terrence,
and I'll make sure you get there too.
Weezy,
Right,
talk
so
to
it don't matter.
Terrence. Tell him
Huh?
don't be trying to hurt the woman either. Trying to kill people either.
Terrence, you take your time. Okay, you gonna get to where you gonna get to your destination. Make sure
Tell
she
him.
enjoy the ride too, brother. Damn it.
You trying to hurt women.
I don't hurt nobody. Hello.
You can't even lie straight. You can't even
I
lie
know you
straight.
can't be lie straight. He about to lie. Watch how you swing that bat, young man. Watch it. You know.
So sometimes you got to
all.
play the game. You can't
He's
be
an
home
athlete.
running all the time.
You know.
Don't let them talk you into throwing your back out. You're old. You ain't that damn.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm telling him. I'm trying to get him.
Yeah,
not to throw his back out. We trying to get him not to throw his back out. Sometimes you gotta roll. Just let or lay back and let her control the stick. Okay, let her drive the stick shift. Just lay there, enjoy. Don't be trying to sit there and get touchdowns all the time. Let her give you a little. Let her kick a field goal for you sometimes.
It's okay to take a ball when you play baseball. Ball one.
Just let it slide. Just let it slide sometimes.
Let it slide right into home base.
Mm-hmm.
No, Terry be trying to.
They got to walk the ball.
He's an athlete type. Them athletes don't know their own strength when it comes to women. We not like balls that you just dribble and then shoot. You know, you got to take your time, pass the ball.
No, let me tell you. Let me just put it like this.
The ball.
You know how you have to put that work in to practice whatever sport, whatever thing you do. We are the practice, sweetheart. We are the consistent behaviors that you have to do to get to the ultimate of being number one. Okay, so that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do, and we do too. We can't, just because we have the automatic coochie and it's wet. Okay, not everybody's wet. It takes time to warm us up, especially the older you get. But I guarantee, once you warm that car up, once you warm that Cadillac up, we rolling.
Yeah,
that's why I can't fuck with none of these young boys. They just want to get in the car and jump in and drive. No,
no, baby, no, baby. Sit your ass in the passenger seat. Let me teach you a little thing. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Do some shit.
You ain't about to mess. Cadillacs take a lot of money to fix. Okay.
That's why I couldn't be no
cool. Your ass down.
But with my older age, I stay wet. It might be pee, but it's wet. My diaper stay wet.
I wasn't gonna say that, but okay, mine is too.
You know,
don't hard, nigga. You better have on a diaper.
Again, not surprising me knowing what I know about Reese, that she bought herself a little sex chair in preparation of having to do reverse cowgirl. She's prepared. She's ready. I know it.
Wait a minute. Did you say a sex chair?
Yeah, Rita. So she could save her knees and bounce up and down without hurting her knees and her hips.
Wait a minute. So the dick is attached to the chair?
No, you put the chair over the guy. Okay, it's like a breakfast tray, but with a hole in it, and it bounces.
Okay.
Girl.
Okay, I love Rita.
That's smart. Goddamn, that's smart. Shit.
She knows. She knows what
that's smart. That's smart as shit. And you hold, and you,
because I always
you
thought about
your knees.
Like they got all these different dildos and stuff out, right? And I always think, suppose you want to go from the back. Do they got dildos that got a suction cup that attached to the wall?
Rita, they got yes, I had one that would attach to the wall. Rita, they got everything. They got sex swings now. Sex swings. Those are fun too. But you gotta make sure you find the stud in the wall, otherwise it all falls down.
Listen to what Terrence about to tell you, because Terrence, tell him why that's a good thing. Because the woman can ride as long as she wants. The guy don't get tired, and your weight ain't
Right.
on him, and your weight ain't on your knees or hip. So you just
I want it. Hey, look.
like a
Hey,
trampoline.
look. My nasty ass started. I started visualizing. I said, "Dang, I want to see that." Like that's some funny shit right there.
Hey, Terrence, you gonna fuck around and need a
Hey,
whole
look,
nother room
we gon'
for all
me
this shit
and you
to
gon'
get.
Reese, you gonna spoof that joint. We gonna do it. We gonna do it like a little 3-minute video of that joint.
Wait a minute, y'all gonna do a video of y'all using it?
She's not ready for that.
It's gonna be watch. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me on top. It's gonna be me on top 3 times, and then every time I'm on top, I'm gonna lay down and go to sleep. Then you gonna wake me up. You gonna wake me up and be like, "Come on, baby, it's time to go again."
Oh, yo.
That's what you get.
Be quiet. Everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet. Then I'm gonna get on top again. Then I'm gonna go to sleep. That's gonna be like 30 to 45 seconds. Then you gonna be like, now it's my turn to get on top. I'm like, how the hell you gonna get on top of me? You be like, lay down and find the fuck out. You gonna pull that joint from underneath the bed and jump on it, put it over top of me, jump on it.
Okay.
Then it's gonna fade to black.
Right.
That joint's not funny.
This
Got
gonna
that
be the back
down.
because you gonna pass the fuck out.
Yeah, because she's got a ball gag and handcuffs too. So she'll make sure you keep quiet.
What
So
you
she can have her
nasty
way
ass
with
gotta
you.
jump in there with ball gags? Look, black people don't do that to each other. That's not how we do it to each other.
Yes,
If
they
we
do.
try
I just
anything,
couldn't figure out what that shit was about the beads in your
if
butt.
black people tie each other up, it's gonna be with some shit we got to fuck around our
Look,
house.
why you messing with your nipples?
It's gonna
Though?
be a
Why you-
bathrobe. It's gonna be a bathrobe belt.
Hey,
Some
I got a
pantyhose.
Look, no
question.
bull. You gonna get you
I
somebody
got a
tie?
question, Michelle.
I'm
Michelle,
What the fuck? Michelle say a ball gag and handcuffs. That is some white people shit. Black
Michelle,
people
I
don't
got
do
a
it to
question.
each other like
I
that.
don't have any of those.
Hello, people. Can I ask Michelle my question?
Yes,
Yes,
Miss
What's your
Rita is
question,
trying to
baby?
speak.
Okay, so I never had any white girlfriends where I can ask this, so I feel like I know you well enough now that I can say this. What the fuck, or who the fuck came up with bleaching your butthole?
Oh, girl, what the fuck is wrong with people? I don't know.
What?
And what is that about?
bleaching-
Because your shit is black.
That's a porn star thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
exactly what it is. Because men are visual. Men are visual creatures. So
if
there's
I'm black, I don't want no white asshole.
no, I don't do it. I don't
Wait
do
a minute. Y'all showing me something new. You bleach your ass.
You bleach your butthole.
You haven't heard that?
No.
Kanye put it in one of his songs.
Mm-hmm.
You
If you
know,
get
this
bleach on my
shit that he's
t-shirt,
saying,
we gonna have.
I think it means something else. How the fuck you bleach your asshole?
I just want to know who came up with where in your history of growing up when somebody asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up, you said I want to bleach buttholes.
Sometimes you just fall into
I don't
those
even know how that
jobs.
trend
And that was funny. You fall into the job.
Terrence, did you know about bleach buttholes?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I ain't never seen one.
Now that you know.
Yeah, I know it's out there. I know it's girls out there doing all kinds of shit to themselves.
Okay, ladies, I got
You know
a
what I
question.
mean?
I got a
Bleaching
question for
buttholes,
y'all.
what does that do?
You know about
I'm like Miss Rita
who know about the noni?
some wild shit. I heard an anal
Who know
sex.
about the noni treatment?
The
Who
what?
know about the noni treatment?
I heard about it. What is it again?
When you get the steam,
The yawning.
You get the
Yawning.
steam?
Yawning.
I want to
Yeah.
know who came up with some of this shit. At
Yoni.
some point, somebody said, I'm going to put
Can you
steam
believe
up
it?
my ass to see how that feels.
Rita, according to Wikipedia, anal bleaching Pornographic film actresses were the first to undergo the anal bleaching process in an effort to lighten the color of their anuses to match the rest of their fucking skin.
That's white people shit.
That
Black
is some white people shit.
We always tell people kiss where the sun don't shine. We don't care about the color of your booty hole. Not unless it's bleeding, not unless we don't care about that. Look, as far as the no,
I'm gonna have to go, y'all, because my battery on my phone is low and I didn't bring my charger.
Oh, girl. All right. We love you.
Thank you for joining us, Miss Rita. You are so awesome.
Thank you.
Rita,
Before you go, tell them where they can find you.
I don't know, because I don't know where I'm gonna be till I get there.
You let me know. I let the people know. They come out, see you, and support you. Guys, show Miss Rita some love. Thank you, Miss Rita.
Oh my
I'm just saying. I look at the flyer the day of the show.
I'm gonna have to start saying
my
that.
GPS and she tells me where the fuck to go.
Hey, Rita.
So,
Rita.
I got a show tomorrow. In DC somewhere. Comedy near you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on that show tomorrow. Other than that, I'm being in my living room. I got a post I'm going to put on Facebook for all my family because nobody living in DC, everybody out of town. So I'm going to put this post, coming to your guest room one city at a time. And so I'm going to be hollering at all my cousins from out of town. And I'm going to be hitting they. And while I stay at their house, I'm going to hit all the mics. So in August, I'll be in Detroit the week of the 12th through the 19th. And then I'll be in Cleveland the next week. And then Indiana the next week. So, yeah, that's about it for right now.
That's what's happening. Hey, Rita, I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you in about an hour or so and see what time you can get Corey hair done.
Oh, wait a minute. So I thought this shit started at 11. Remember I said wasn't nobody here? No, nigga, this shit don't start till 12. And so, yeah. And then once I leave here, I got to do granny hair when I leave here. So I'll get Corey this evening.
Okay.
All right.
He'll be at the house. All right.
Love you, babe.
All right.
Yep. Have a good day.
Love you, boy.
Bye, Miss Rita. Have a good day.
Louisa, can you read some of these comments on the side? We don't talk about bleach buttholes.
We were just going. I could read these too because I have.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I could start from DJ Slicky Woo Boo says, "Hey peeps," and then he also wants to know who do you believe, Reese? Ha ha. And Michelle is freaky now. Of course, we're freaky now. Going back to the one boyfriend and teenager thing, Molly says one boyfriend is great for her. These kids sleeping with everybody. No. I'm not saying one boyfriend is a bad thing. I just want her to do other things with her friend, not just the goddamn boyfriend. Okay? Molly also said you want your daughter to interact with more people. Don't have nothing to do with her having one boyfriend. I get it. Freaky Friday is not a school lesson. Absolutely it is. I'm telling Mama Slicky, you still want to be. I'm not going to say it, but a little ignorant is all.
You learn on Freaky Friday.
You learn all the time out of school. Molly said he had a girlfriend from high school to adulthood. Now we have a kid. That's a miracle. It's a blessing. Mazel tov.
That's how it happened with me too, Molly.
Yep.
Except we had 5.
God, I can't believe that still. Yeah, exactly. That hurts my vagina. DJ Freaky Woo said Freaky Friday, y'all. This is not for today. Damn. Molly
Hold
said,
on, Michelle, because it didn't hurt going in. God damn it.
It does. No, it doesn't hurt going in. I mean, you just got to be patient, kind, a little gentle, and boom, boom. Good time for everyone. Molly said, one person for anybody at any age is good, but they should still meet people. Exactly. Kenneth popped on and said, too much like right. Molly likes laughing at us. That's that one then. You can push a baby out with, you can push a baby out. You can take anything. Accurate.
That is not true. Okay, because you ain't never pushed nothing out.
It depends. Well, you know what? Like there's some women who friggin' push out like watermelon, like huge watermelon-sized babies, and these women either the baby has to come out either cesarean section or they have to slice her.
Episiotomy. That's the name.
I don't even want. That's a word that triggers me.
Hold
And
up,
then
wait,
Molly
ho.
said-
Go ahead and finish
Episiotomy?
reading that. Go ahead and finish reading that, and I'll comment.
And the last comment we got, Molly, everything we mostly do is white people shit. Who invited the BJ?
Who
Who
invented
invented the BJ? Who invented the BJ? I can Google that. You guys want me to find
Yeah,
out?
go ahead and Google that.
some
Let's see.
Roman
But
Caesar
that,
Yeah,
look,
minutes.
I'm pretty sure that's
Soldier
one
boy.
thing that men are complaining about.
I wonder if Google knows this. Let's see. Who invented the
So as far as the
globe?
episiotomy, sometimes you have to get that even with. I had to end up getting that
Ooh.
with my first child, and the doctor really did not have to do it, but he didn't want to wait, and he cut me, and in doing so, the way he stitched me back a little wrong. So for years I was numb in that particular area, and so the feeling back now, but in that particular space between your vagina and your anus, I was numb there.
That the taint.
Yeah,
Right at
I
the
was
bottom
numb
of it.
there. And it's, and these doctors, especially men doctors, because they don't have to feel any of this shit, are very unconcerning when they do certain things. My first child was 8 pounds, 9.2 ounces, and I was 18 when I had him. Okay. My fourth child was 9 pounds, 1.9 ounces, and I was 29 when I had him. And
Them
though he
boys
was
is some big ass
my
boys.
boys, all my kids were 8 pounds except for two. Three of my kids were over 8 pounds. No, two were 8 pounds, one was 9, and two was 7 something. And I had my last child at 31. I was about to be 31. And I tell you now, I'm about to be 40. Well, I'll be 40 next year. Ain't no more coming up out of here. Okay. I thought about it. But yeah, I'm done.
Wow.
I was 38. I was 38 when I had my last.
Were you?
He 11. He 11
Yeah,
now.
I thought about
You
it.
sure? Wait a minute. You sure that's your last? No more.
You can get anybody pregnant to the day you in a damn coffin. Women,
What?
yeah, you can't look at what's his name? The man that just had a baby.
Oh,
What's his
I
name?
just found out. Sorry, I got distracted about reading
ahead.
about the history of blowjobs, and it came from the Egyptians. It's a long Egyptian story, but apparently Isis, who could not find the penis of the green-skinned god Orisis. So, like, he got killed and they dismembered his body and they couldn't find. And I think Isis liked this guy. And apparently, incest was very common in Egyptian times back then, too. But the penis was missing. She looked all over for it and later decided to mold a penis out of the mud and attached it to the body of Orisis. Then she blew and breathed life into it. Story of your first blowjob.
No, not the blowjob. We talking about oral sex.
No,
That's what it is. That's what it
what I'm
is.
saying. You're
That's what
saying
she's
how
saying,
the
blowing
oral
life.
sex started. Yes, suddenly Orisis came back to life. That's how fellatio was originated.
Fellatio from the Egyptians.
Blowjob from the Egyptians.
Isn't that a fellatio Greek word though?
It might be, but the story is Egyptian. I'll send you the link so you can read it. I know how you love to learn. I'll put it in the group so we can all read about the history of fellatio. Blowjob.
And I thought
Accommodate
Caesar
them.
invented that. Then when they were snatching those little boys up to go
It's
to war,
the
the Roman
Egyptians.
Catholic Church invented
The
that.
Roman
Well,
Catholic
the
Church just
Egyptians were
perverted it.
very free sexually, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
They were,
they
and the
how they
Greeks,
like-
the Greeks and the Romans were very free as far as sleeping with
Influence,
men.
yeah.
So they were very, very, very free sexually over there.
Yeah. I mean, bi men back then were probably a treasure to be had.
Wow.
The thing they used to sleep with the it was very well known because the men were out, and what they call them I can't even think of the dang old things when they cut the boys' penises. I mean, not penises.
Eunuchs.
Circumcision?
Eunuchs.
They made
Another word.
eunuchs. Yeah, I couldn't get it, but they made eunuchs for them. They did sleep with men, and I'm very big on reading things, and I have read so many stories and looked at so many things. And one of the things I remember, he was like, I came in, and too much of my surprise and pleasure, he was already it was already oiled up, and I'm not sure if it was because he knew I was coming or if someone had been there before me. I was like, oh,
Do you know why they chop off the balls?
yeah, to keep them from to keep the testosterone, to keep them feminine. The eunuchs are supposed to be feminine. They keep them from they keep them. The eunuchs were made from people, their peasants, their citizens not being able to take care of their children, so they bring their children to the palace to give their children to the palace because they want their children to be taken care of. And instead of them taking care of them, putting them in for wars or putting them in to serve, they cut their testicles off to stop them from developing manhood, testosterone, and keep them feminine so they can use them for sex.
Wow, eunuchs are the original male feminists.
But it wasn't their choice.
It
wasn't by choice.
That was forced on. So
it wasn't by it wasn't by choice.
The
parents thought they were doing a good thing, giving them to the palace so that they could be taken care of. What actually happened was the palace, the kings or whoever would take, and if they were boys, and cut their balls off so that they can become feminine, remain feminine and soft, and they would sleep with them. And the women, they will put the work.
That's
they now have artificial intelligence.
What? Yeah, well, that has to go back up. Yeah, going back up a little. Let's see. Comedy Club said hand pick waving. I think they might be doing something with their hand. Molly said, women out here having sex with horses. I'm just saying. I know that. There's a horse and donkey shows. Where are they, in Mexico? I don't know. I just heard that. DJ Slicky Woo Woo said, now that's freaky. That's right. Don't you be going telling mama. That's all I got to say, Slicky. Keep your mouth closed.
Oh, she's the hand pink waving. That pink the color. The waving the color pink. Hand pink. Waving. So she's trying to say she's trying to say that they invented that. These people, that's what she's trying to she's trying to say, and pink waving. Wow.
Okay. Molly said they now have artificial intelligence that give perfect BJs. I believe that. They have the dolls that look lifelike. There was a movie about some dude who wanted to marry a sex doll.
Oh, is that girl
marry his sex doll?
Yeah.
Vox Mechanock, whatever. She was marrying a robot. Now, if AI gets that artificial intelligence, what does that do for humanity? Because we all know that
you know what it's gonna do.
The procreating thing and that love and all that. Is that going to numb us from that too? Are we going to become beings that just like you remember that Demolition Man where they was they had sex like this, putting the hand up, and it was just all mental. All the well they put them things on their head.
Oh, and the cone heads.
We're more like Idiocracy.
No, not the cone. The cone is too, but the one where they was like Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock with Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, it was Demolition Man.
Well, the way they had sex was like mentally. Are we getting ready to go? I don't gotta touch you. You don't gotta touch me. I don't have to worry about unwanted babies. I don't have to worry about diseases. But
let me tell you something. No, I want old fashioned touch me, smell me, feel me sex. Okay, I'm not going to that AI, artificial intelligence, nothing, because I ain't artificially intelligent about nothing. I don't play with me. You better put your hands. You better touch me.
You want smell-o-vision.
I want to touch you.
Why not? I had a little video clip. Not Molly showed a little of the funny one. What they was talking about, the different generations, not the one they're talking about with the men, but they talking the funny clip. But that one. Watch this. Good
morning, Angela and Alan, bless up, and Derek who entered. Good morning.
Why aren't we talking shit about those guys?
Because, sir, we will fuck you up. We fought in real life, not on the internet. We are the last generation of feral children. We didn't have safe spaces. We didn't have trigger warnings. No one was allergic to fucking gluten. We mind our own business. We are older than Google. We are not the bigger person. Leave us alone.
Who let Gen X off the hook? Why aren't we talking shit about those guys?
Because, sir, we will fuck you up. We fought in real life, not on the internet. We are the last generation of feral children. We didn't have safe spaces. We didn't have trigger warnings. No one was allergic to fucking gluten. We mind our own business. We are older than Google. We are not the bigger person. Leave us alone.
Amen.
Hallelujah. He was talking about we are the last generation that does that. We are the last generation because every generation coming after that will know what Google is.
We're the last generation of feral kids.
But you know the crazy thing is it doesn't stop at 80. They always put Gen X a little bit further up.
Yeah.
It just depends on what it is. But the 80s babies, the early 80s babies did the same thing that y'all went through because we are actually we were talking about
I think like the early. I agree with that because I have some friends that I really relate to them.
Bring my phone.
Like into the like early, even like the late 80s too.
The Google, you know, like because my little niece was like, "Well, Aunt Reese, what did y'all do before?" Now remind, she's in her 20s. She's like, "Well, what did y'all do before cell phones?" I said, "We had beepers." What you talking about?
Pages. 911.
You should have told. No, not had beepers. We had house phones.
Yeah,
we had house phones and pay phones.
We had the rotary phones and the daggone pay. I was pressed to get on that pay phone.
We had phone booths. Yeah, we had bus stops that had phone booths attached to them.
Yeah, we did have phone booths. You're right. They don't know what
we had beepers. We had beepers. So how'd you call somebody back from your beeper? You had to go to the pay phone.
Cell phone, yeah.
My
quarters. Stay with rows of quarters.
My sister used to work at the Staten Island Mall, and on her lunch break, she'd walk over to the bank of payphones and just start answering them for fun.
Y'all is crazy. We used to call people for fun. We used to call every number.
Yes.
Parents, remember Party Line? You remember we used to be
on yeah. That's how we used to meet people. That's how I found out about Waldorf on the Party Line.
That was inundating.
And we stole a Ford Escort and drove out there. We drove from New Hampshire Avenue. We was goddamn about 11, 12. About the age my son is now. About 11, 12. We drove from New Hampshire Avenue all the way out Waldorf. We thought we was out of town.
That would be Kennedy stealing a car.
Huh?
My daughter Kennedy is like that age now, and I can't imagine her stealing a car. A lawnmower, a golf cart, maybe a bumper car. Okay.
She actually is a little
wilder thing.
She actually, watch this. She's actually a little bit more muscle coordinated now because of the way video games are than I was at that age. But we drove a lot of go-karts and shit. And the Ford Escort back then was just like a go-kart when we got in it.
That's like a Geo Metro. That was a little Escort.
You remember,
my girlfriend had an Escort. With that little fool, we would all be packed up in that Escort. Me, her, and our boyfriends and stuff. Going to Landover Mall to the movies.
That's true, Alan. I like these comments.
Yeah.
Let's see. Angela said, yes, we did on the house phone. Alan said, and we actually went outside back then, knocked on your damn door. Angela said, house phone. Molly said, each generation have more than the last. Y'all was driving before then. People was walking and catching buses before them horses. Yeah, and so he's like the separation. We do divide the generations, and the reason why, because a lot of things we experience, but we are, we are the same thing. We just experience different parts of things. Alan said he stole his first car at 12. Oh my gosh.
See, boys
do that.
Alan, where you from?
They teach y'all how to drive early.
Man, look, I had a cousin that kept us right there on Kenilworth Avenue at the go-kart track. And we came up on that joint, and then somehow we found that joint down on 301, and we started going down there. And I'm talking about every weekend we was at the go-kart track. We would go play basketball. We'd go play basketball all goddamn day. I mean, like 3 or 4 parks.
Right next to the skating ring. It's down there, right there by the skating ring down 301.
Yes, ma'am.
Evergreen Road. Look, I used to be back up in them woods. My girlfriend dated some people that back up there in them woods. Evergreen Road, back down there.
Back there in them woods.
301 watching them. Because I'll be sitting in the car like this. We be all good. Everybody be bunned up. I was a friend. I was like just in the car. And then for some reason, but everybody liked Reese. But then I was like, with my arms folded, like, don't get from here.
Angela said she bought bought one for a go-kart for her son, and she rode it too. That's right. That's what you got to do. I spend good money on my children's toys. I should be able to use them too.
But I bought Tyree a bike.
Oh, Alan and his friends were stealing cars so they could go to the Go-Go's.
Yes, and they stole my car. Remember, Alan was the player.
I stole a car one night and pulled into the 7-Eleven around my way, and all the big boys seen me. They roughed me up and made me drive them to the Go-Go. That was my first night down the Black Hole. Not only did they beat me up, but we was all getting money back then. So I had about like $400 or $500 in my pocket.
And you had to pay their way to Black Hole?
No. They paid their own. Now everybody got hung. Everybody that was in my neighborhood, if you was outside, you was getting money. It didn't matter. That's how many people was coming around that joint. So long story short, that night was my first night in the Black Hole. I'm talking about I'm like 11 years old. I had to pay $100 to get. I had to pay $100. I had to pay $100 to get in. I'm freaking old grown ass big girls. I'm in that joint getting it. Like that was the funnest night of my life. To me.
Boys that goose me. And let me tell y'all something about the Black Hole. Terrence can contest to this. It was a black hole. You going in dark. Anything.
Yeah.
But it was fun. You smelled the sweat.
Yeah. No, it was a go-go.
You're going into this place called the Black Hole at 11 years old?
It was a go-go. Yeah.
I was older, but he was 11. I was too scared to go up in there at 11. 11 years old, I was still fighting boys, jumping double dutch and playing hopscotch.
That's what I'm saying. And babysitting.
If I ever get the nerve to write this story, to make this a little something, then y'all will see it. Y'all will definitely see all of that.
Look, Terrence, write it. Did you read Shades of Blue? I hope you put it out there to write it. Read this book. This is my book that I wrote. This is like, okay. and you gonna look and you gonna laugh. You gonna be like, yeah, we was doing this, we was doing that. It's a fictional book, but it's all about some real stuff. And the second book really captures the go-go life scene and stuff. Because I used to tell everybody that my cousin used to own a safari club. So I seen a lot of stuff. Back the one on the one in DC, the original safari club.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I met Chuck Junker. That's how I met all the go-go bands. That's how I met Pleasure. Every band that came out of Maryland, DC, and Virginia, the Lucky Down Queens, Top Secret, AMFF, everybody was like came through there. So and now our Backyard got their first gig that Terrence Cooper would tell you, because he was the manager there. I was like, please let him play, please let him play. And Holly was like, okay, they can open up on a Sunday for Jump. That's how back, boom.
Okay, let me read these comments real quick.
Yes, read the comments.
Angela said we had good times back in the day, but now the children killing children is crazy. I pray these young generations.
Right.
I pray for these. Yeah.
That part.
Alan said I used to be.
We had a shooting back then too, Weezy. They had the little AK and would shoot up the go-go. That's why a lot of go-go's shut down.
Yeah, it was a lot of fighting and stuff all the time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nah. DC was off the chain in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the 90s.
I got the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he said he used to be in a band, so we were still in MPVs, vans, and Astro vans to carry the band.
Hey, go ahead, y'all. Hey, Alan, go ahead, y'all. Hey, why you bring up the MPVs, y'all? Hey, go ahead, dog.
The Astro van.
Thank you, goddamn much.
The Astro vans had all the rooms. Molly said, I'm trying to do the math. Black Hole was open when I was 10 and 11. Was it still?
I can't believe y'all got me beat with sneaking out. I wasn't doing it until 16. No.
Oh, wow. Alan said, I used to be in the Black Hole. I'm
50. I'm 50. Whoever trying to do the math, I'm 50 now.
That's a Molly.
Okay. Yeah, Molly.
So that was back in
30.
That was back. That was back in like 84, 85.
Molly 34. Okay, yeah. So Alan said I used to be in the black hole at 14 because I used to be in a lot of go-go bands and knew a lot of members backyard band, Northeast Grooves, Rare Essence, and Junkyard. And she said she spitting facts. Cuzzo was heavy in the go-go, grew his interest. Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Who said they was trying to do the math? I'm tell them I'm 50.
Molly, black hole. He said black hole
Molly.
been around forever.
That they're joining a dentist now. Ask him, do we remember in '87? The summer '87, 4th of July.
Molly was just
Somebody
born.
Molly,
He wasn't even
Molly,
born
don't
in.
remember that. He wasn't even born then.
He wasn't even born in.
Oh, he a baby boy. Okay, all right.
No, he wouldn't remember you driving around stolen vehicles, Terrence. With no
Alan
license.
said, Terrence,
You know
Alan
what?
said
We
he's
knew how to
46.
drive back then. We didn't get caught by
I
the
was
police.
a fucking
They
menace.
wasn't chasing us down. We knew how to drive, and we wasn't hitting
I was
nobody.
I was a fucking menace.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, but Terrence Tyler, we knew how to
Who don't
drive back
believe
then.
that?
We was responsible.
What 10?
What
At 11,
time,
when
hey,
they
Molly?
stolen cars at 11 and 12, they knew how to drive back then better than what the kids do now.
Shit, them
You
kids
didn't
We
know
was
how to
taught how to
drive.
drive
All
down
of
the
us know how to
country.
drive. It's just when the police chase you, you want to see how good you can drive. You had a few that can get away. Was you one of them dudes that can get away from the police? You know, a lot of dudes
Yeah.
crash, you know, so it ain't that they can't drive and ain't
But
responsible.
watch this.
Get on.
Watch how I mess my life up though. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm not even in a stolen car. I'm going to re-up. I get in a stolen car because I see somebody headed back around my way, and I was always taught to catch a cab. Always taught to catch a cab. This one time I get it, when we pull back to the neighborhood, he think he going in the back way. The police sitting in the parking lot waiting for him. Then instead of him making a left, he make a fake left U-turn and go up the hill, and we hit a dead end. He run around the building, get caught on the fence. I run in the building and try to run out the back door. They catch me inside the building. We both get locked up, and I got drugs on me. But they don't know us for drugs. They just know us for stealing cars. Because we the little boys. You see what I'm saying? All the big boys had it, so they didn't even pat me down. They just locked me up and took me to the station. They waiting for my mother to come and pick me up, and I'm sitting in that joint with a whole, you know what I mean? I'm dirty than a mug. You talking about scared after scared? Never even patted me down.
You left the police station with the drugs still on you. Wow.
Clearly.
Nah, them joints is still in the police station. I stuck them down in the pole that I was strapped to.
Ah, damn.
Lord.
Wow.
Well, I think we've gone over, friends. We've had such a good time.
Conclude with Freaky Friday. I'm sorry if it wasn't freaky enough for some people, but when you talk about bleaching buttholes, that took me to a whole new level. I'm sorry.
Ma, you ever seen a girl with a bleached butthole?
Yeah.
You have?
Oh, you nasty. Yeah, mine is nasty as shit.
I gotta go look it up there because I'm like,
ASAP. Soon I heard about it, I looked it up.
All you do is go watch a
lot
porn
of girls
with white women. You'll see it.
a bleached butthole, and it's so they butt could look the same color.
Yeah, it'll be lighter. It's for aesthetics.
They want their skin to match. So basically, men want to visualize about fucking a Barbie doll. That she's all the same color. Or again, the movie was called Laws in the Real Girl, which was a movie about a dude who married his sex doll.
I guess we
Again,
don't
I can
think about
understand why.
we don't think about bleaching our butt, black people, because we know that our
It doesn't make sense to bleach your butthole and you are of color.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't make sense to bleach your butthole, period.
It really doesn't, because that can do a lot of that can thin off the skin down there, do a lot of damage. But if you go and watch a porno with white women and white men, you'll see that you can tell.
They used to say when I was a kid, corduroys in spring make your butthole sting. Now I know bleach. Them chitlins, that's how they clean chitlins back in the day. They put bleach in chitlin water.
That is
Why would you bring that up, Reese? Because I'm on the phone and I told you about that nasty ass story. Don't do that.
What's
Don't
the story?
do that.
I said corduroys and spring. We the same age.
No, you said chitlins and butthole. I told you about that motherfucking story that made me stop eating motherfucking chitlins.
Oh, I forgot all about
Don't do that. You are so fucking disrespectful. You are so fucking disrespectful. Please don't forget that again. That is so nasty.
I forgot about that. See, I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about the burning butthole.
Right.
Butthole, make the butthole burn. We used to clean chitlins butthole. I was thinking about that. I forgot.
Simzang.
No. Oh my God.
Terrence, so when
That's
somebody
terrible.
ever asks you eat ass, say yes. Yes, I do.
No, I don't. I've eaten it. I've eaten it, but it's not a practice that I'll continue. Fuck all of you.
So when they say kiss my ass,
Fuck all of you and good night.
Look, Terrence, look, I'm just messing around with you because I do shit half-ass because I only got half-ass.
Wait, what kind of generalization is Alan?
You are so crazy.
But Terrence, you don't know. I got one butt cheek. You don't know that? I had
Why you only have one butt cheek? What the
they
fuck?
took it off. The doctor they cut my cheek. Left cheek, right cheek. They took the right cheek.
So when you get your, what is it called, an vasectomy?
I think the cheek implants is like I only got one implant. So my butt is flat, but it looked like one is pushed in like that. Like stop. One is the right one is pushed over in like.
But what is the procedure? I don't give a fuck what it look like because I don't want to see it. What I want to know is what I want to know is the motherfucking procedure. Was it called an vasectomy?
No, I got sick from a local hospital. I'm not gonna say the name, and caught necrotizing fasciitis, flesh-eating bacteria.
You caught that from them?
Caught from the hospital, yes, sir.
Oh shit, that motherfucking hospital supposed to be named Reese, motherfucker, out there. Here the fuck we come, and we got a band-aid if the fuck you need.
Let me tell you about the state of Maryland.
Memorial Hospital.
This is the thing. My attorney said if I was hurt in Pennsylvania or DC, it would have been. I'd have had her in the Grand Studio, but because Maryland got a cap, you cannot get more than $650,000 in Maryland. My medical bill way surpassed all of that because I was in ICU 28 days. I was in rehab for almost 6 months, and I had 7 surgeries, hyperbaric chamber treatment, wound vac, and I had a colonoscopy. Then they did the reversal. I had a lot of stuff done that way surpassed $650,000.
Yeah, you didn't know?
Maryland screwed it. Maryland recently passed that law. Y'all didn't know that they passed that law. They had just passed it. I think 2013. It came on the books. So if you get hurt, I hope it ain't in Maryland because you ain't gonna get no more than $650.
What the hell is going on?
They're protecting the medical malpractice insurance. They're protecting the insurance companies. Money keeping money. Too many people were suing doctors. But if your doctor is negligent, they deserve to be sued.
Well, that's why they have malpractice insurance. That's why they have. But it's also a game. It's a racket. It's a racket. It's a racket. People's health care is business. And they get a profit too. Uh-oh.
Woo! That's our music. Terrence, tell everybody where you gonna be, what you got coming up.
All right, so coming up real quick, I got June 3rd. I'll be with Gwen at the Gwen Factor at her pool party. Other than that, on the 31st, you can be at my spot, 7303 Georgia Avenue, the Premier Lounge. It's gonna be me and all my friends. So come on out and check it out. It's just come on. It's an open mic.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
Louisa, where you gonna be?
I'm everywhere I need to be, people. Actually, we have let's see, June 17th. I have a tea party. If you'd like to come, please reach out to Blue Phoenix or Louis Terrell on Facebook. And the No Filter Show, Red Vision TV, will be having a 90s party July 8th. And that is $10. So if you'd like to join, participate in that, and it's, you got to dress in 90s attire. So, July 8th. July 8th. So, reach out to me for tickets for that. And we also have another Ice Cream Soul September 2nd. We have time for everybody to get that, but that's just things we're working on.
Okay, Michelle.
Well, I'm going to be wherever Althea's going to be tonight. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be dipping out of the DMV for a little bit to go spend some time in Waco, Texas. Yeah!
Crazy. Another crazy white lady down in Waco, Texas.
What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen?
That's okay.
Because the Branch Davidians were there. Come on, I ain't hard.
So when she get back from Waco, Texas, we're going to have a full schedule. And we're really going to be hitting the street stuff. So we'll post our itinerary so people can come out and see us perform and act in full and cut up. And Terrence, we got to make that video. I'm going to pull this out my book.
Reese, I'm about to call you. I'm about to call you as soon as we hang up.
We'll make the video. That's funny.
As soon as we hang up, I'm calling you.
Molly, you going to shoot the video, Molly? My cameraman. So that's what we got up. July 29th. I want all of y'all to come to the big shindig on July 29th. My friend is having a retirement. It's called Paulson's Retirement Party. It's going to be at the FOP 89 police. He's a retired firefighter. And I got tickets for that. It's limited seating, but it's going to be a catered event by Chef Derek. You're going to have DJ Storm and Norman. They're going to have a comedy show from 8 to 9:30. And guess who's hosting that? Yay! Who's going to be in the house hosting that? The comedians Laughing Lenny going to be there. Stacy Carver going to be there. And Jude in the corner is going to be there. You know, Terrence, I hope. And my other comedian friends, I hope y'all be there. Y'all come show support and love. So that's going to be good, July 29th. Tickets are $30, but your tickets get you your meal, your comedy show, DJ Storm and Norman, everything in a cash bar. That's FOP 89, right off of 202, somewhere in Largo, Upper Marlboro area, Upper Marlboro. So that's July 29th. Y'all got 3 months, almost 3 months.
Don't rush that date. Don't rush.
Yeah, please don't.
That's
please
my
don't.
daughter's birthday. She already let me know what she wants. July 29th. I want that.
My daughter's August 1st.
Dang, that's big. She probably been born August 1st.
Oh. Yeah.
This show, as always, Good Freaky Friday.
Thank you.
Hope it was freaky enough. That's what y'all like to say all the time. It's always freaky enough.
Yeah. Friday ain't over yet.
I can't get no freaking in that.
But it's cool. I'm gonna talk to y'all in the background.
All right. I gotta jump, but bye everyone. Thank you.
Bye babies. Bye babies. We talk in the back, y'all.